Steve, you know what I'm doing?
Dodging bullets.
Dodging bullets, buddy. Detroit Lions are dodging bullets. Woo, we will get into it. Listen, Detroit in 3-1-3. We're back. Steve and Will ready to talk that Detroit Lions football, ready to talk dodging some freaking bullets. Before we get going, if you're just stumbling upon us, hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel out tremendously. If you're feeling us, you don't want to miss this new content when it comes out. And if you want to win some free stuff, like the helmets behind me, like the helmet Steve has at his house right now, the Aiden Hutchinson signed helmet, jerseys, gift cards, signed memorabilia, all types of things. Think about becoming a member. There's 3 tiers. Look into it. Anyways, Steve, to the business, to the bullets being dodged. Talk to the people.
William, I don't know if it's last year's just burned into my mind, but whenever I hear or see something on Twitter now about a player leaving with X injury, I just immediately assume that it's a season ender. I guess that's just how I'm groomed after last year. So to set the table with how Steve and Will kind of discovered this news is we were both at work today. I get a text from you and you just say, I think it was like Terrion Arnold left practice injured. And I was just like, well, that just par for the course, I guess. Why not? Why not just pick up right where we did in 2024? Also, Derek Barnes, I think you might have mentioned him as well. But William, I think we did dodge a bullet because they're both going to be okay. All right, so don't everyone panic. They're okay. A calf strain for Terrion Arnold, we got to be real careful with that. The first thing that popped in my mind when I read calf strain was I remember Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers had a calf strain, rushed back, tore his Achilles in Game 7 of the finals. So let's avoid that at all costs. And if that means shutting down Terrion Arnold for the remainder of training camp, I'm okay with it because I feel like this kid, we've been talking about him all week. I feel like, Will, this is the year for him. He's taking that next step. We're talking shutdown corner. So that's the news that happened today. That was our thoughts. That was our process for what happened. Will, what was your initial reaction before texting me?
With TA?
Yeah. Or both.
I don't know. Very, very bad things. I'll say that. Very, very, very bad things. I won't share how bad, but very, very bad things. I was thinking I was in a deep state of depression. I guess the best terms that I could put it in is here we go again. Here we go. Here we go. Lord, football Lord. What did we do? The 50-year curse it's up. We did the 50. We did our time. Good Lord, what are we doing? So then I calmed myself.
Were you feeling something along these lines, Will? Just
hey, hey, I can neither confirm nor deny. I was in a bad place. I won't say that. I was in a bad place, So yeah, I was very thankful when I got the news that it was not as serious as we thought. So Steve, now that we know that they're gonna be okay, all right, I gotta know this. Did you happen to catch Coach Shepp today? I know you were busy today.
I did not. I'm behind on my press conferences today, unfortunately.
Steve, this is why we're the dynamic duo, because when I'm behind, you're there, right, and vice versa, right? So, Steve, Coach Shepp came, and the good thing is he didn't say anything that you don't already know, that you haven't already heard, and that is what I find so pivotal. Guys, we say it all the time. This isn't a news channel. You can go find the news anywhere. If you just want to know the facts of what happened, the facts of what somebody said, you can go on any podcast, you can go at any outlet and just get the facts. What we're going to give you is the reading between the lines, between the facts, how we feel about it, and we want to talk about it. We want to see how you feel about it. So, Steve, Cliff Notes version. Coach Shepp got up there and he said, and I quote, the coaches talked to him about the first 4 days of camp being the most intense that they've seen in the Dan Campbell era.
I like that.
Whoa.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So that's the first one. That's the first gym. The next thing that I found very interesting was Coach Shepp got up there and referred to the defense as, you guessed it, Jack Campbell's defense. Another person getting up there and saying that this is Jack Campbell's defense. I found that interesting. He went on to say, Steve, that Alex Anzalone was an extension of AG. AG and Alex Anzalone were just one mind thinking. Alex Anzalone typically knew exactly what AG wanted. That's how Coach Shepp spoke to Jack Campbell. He said he is Jack. He is the only voice that Jack has heard since he's been in the NFL, and they're locked like this. All right. So I think that that speaks to the direction that this thing is going. Yesterday, we got into Alex Anzalone, what we believe it is, what we believe it isn't, and what we hope it is. I'm not going to go back down that road, guys. If you missed yesterday's episode, go back and watch that if you want to hear some Alex Anzalone talk. But I do think that this fed into the things that we talked about yesterday. Coach Shepp is a Jack Campbell guy. This is Jack Campbell's team. And Alex Anzalone is back beyond this season. He's going to be there to support Jack Campbell and Jack Campbell's defense. Straight out of his mouth, Jack Campbell's defense. So I thought that was interesting. The last thing, and this is where we're going to get into a conversation, Steve. He mentioned Sean Dion Hamilton. If you guys don't know, Coach Ham is the new linebackers coach. He talked about him as being a genius.
I did see little clips of that.
Yeah. So, Steve, what you've mentioned and asked me to do oftentimes, you tell me not to come on here and just talk about things. You tell me not to just spit facts. You tell me to find little breadcrumbs, little pieces to the puzzles, and just put them all together and give the sauce. That's where I'm going right now. Steve, I think that Coach Shepp is going to be special. All things are pointing to him being special. AG was special. He was voted as the best coach by the players, right? The best coach, the best coordinator in the league by the players, not media. The players voted him. If we're saying that practice has been better with Coach Shepp so far, he's not going to be here long, Steve. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. He's not going to
be. Might be a one and done.
It might be a one and done, Steve. The people are going to want Coach Shepp. If we have the success that I'm hoping and suspecting that we're going to have, the doors are going to be getting kicked in trying to get Coach Shepp. This thing is just going to continue. Coach Hamilton better be the genius that we think that he is, and we hope that he is. So, Steve, getting into that, do you believe the hype 4 days in with Coach Shepp that this defense is going to get out here and be impactful, that we're not going to go through the growing pains that a lot of people think that we're going to go through offensively and defensively? Are you worried at all about Coach Shepp being our DC?
No, I'm not worried about Shepp. I worry about players staying healthy, and that has nothing to do with Coach Shepp. But, Will, I'm going to give you, you gave me a couple pieces of puzzle. This is a multi-piece puzzle. It might be a 500-piecer. I don't know. When I take what Coach Shepp said about Aiden Hutchinson looking better than last year, he was playing like a defensive player of the year before he got hurt. When I take the genius behind the linebackers coach and everything coming together in the front seven, and then I see something Jared Goff said about the secondary, how they're scrappy, they're getting after it. I'm quarterbacking against the best two safeties in the league every day, and that's making me better. And Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. When you take little things from each step of this defense, William, it's got to work, right? It's got to. I mean, we got the pieces. We got the best two safeties. We got one of the best edge rushers. The only question's been maybe about the linebacking core. Are they the weakest of the defense? And that's not a slap because I don't think the gap is huge. But, William, if they're on par with the secondary and the defensive line, if they're more athletic, if they can cover some passes, everyone's job gets easier if you're just putting the quarterback on his ass. That comes between the front seven. Everyone's job's easier. If you just got Hutch running wild back there. If you got Marcus Davenport looking like a freak. If you got Tyreek Williams, who's been talked about all offseason and going into training camp. If you get Aleem McNeil back and he's what he was last year, we don't even have to worry about the linebackers or the safeties, Will. We just got to show up and play football, and our defensive line's going to get after it, and everyone's job's just super, super easy. There's a little truth to what Amon St. Brown said last season about Kirby Joseph having the easiest job in the NFL. It gets a little easier if you don't have to do your job because the quarterback's on the ground. So when I see all of the pieces of this defense coming together, a dominating defensive line, an athletic linebacking core, a secondary that can cover, well, it has the potential to be a top five. But all of this has to translate to Sundays, has to translate to games. We can talk about it until we're blue in the face, but If they're going out and they're getting torched and things just aren't coming together in games and another team's making better adjustments, this conversation's all for nothing.
Uh, I think you're partially right. I think you're partially right there.
I don't even know how to spell the word wrong, so I wouldn't even know where to begin, William. So I don't know where you're going.
I don't think you should tell people that. But anyways, the bottom line for me is we mentioned all of these things, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that Coach Shepp said the strength of this team is the secondary. He really likes his linebacker room. He likes what we have on a D line a whole lot, and I do too. If Marcus Davenport stays healthy, thoughts and prayers. And then we're talking about the secondary still being the best part of our defense.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Do you agree with that statement that it's the best part of our defense?
Let me think about it. Yes, I do. Yeah, yes, I do. I think that our backup secondary is better than quite a few secondaries in the league. If you're telling me that I got to roll out Ennis Rakestraw, if I got to roll out a Meek at an outside corner, I have no problems. Wait a second. No, let me just roll out Rock Yasin. I have no problem, Steve. It's we're deep. We're deep there in that secondary. Oh wait, we had a situation. We still got our safeties, but we need a Monte Maddox to go out there. We have corners and versatile corners for days. For days. Brian Branch, versatile. You need him at nickel. You need him to play that safety position. You need a Meek outside. You need him at the nickel. It's Avante can play all over the place. Right? People don't know it, but Terry and Arnold can play all over the place. This is a versatile secondary of DBs, as Brad Holmes says. He's not looking to draft corners and safeties and nickels. No, he's drafting secondary players that can play.
People forget that Terrion Arnold was a safety at Alabama when he first got there. I mean, Nick Saban moved him for a reason. I'm not saying he was the greatest safety that ever come through the SEC or Alabama, but that's what he played in high school. So I'm sure he's familiar with the position. I'm sure that's something that if we needed to, that's something we could have looked into. So yeah, like you're saying, versatile players all up and down the board. 100% agree. We have the two best safeties in the NFL. There's not a better safety duo than Branch and Joseph. Like, argue with me all you want. You're just not going to win that one. So, and then when we talk about DJ Reed, who I think is an upgrade over Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold taking a massive step in year 2, who didn't even play bad as a rookie, just had a couple bad moments. Ennis Rakestraw, who was outplaying Terrion Arnold last preseason. That's what all the beat writers are saying. That's what all the coaches are saying. Just couldn't stay healthy another year. Like, William, you're spot on. We got guys we could plug in different places, different scenarios. Meek Robertson might be your outside corner. He might be your nickel. DJ Reed might be your cornerback one. It could change the next week based on matchups. Like, we're a tough problem to match up against, William.
We are. But, Steve, there might be smoke in Detroit still. I know we had a little bit of smoke yesterday. Maybe there's some other smoke in Detroit. I got a question for you. And I want to know how you feel, because a couple of people tossed this at me at work, and I got a couple of text messages about it after Tim Twentyman released his training camp observations about today. So today, I'm not sure if you saw, but Graham Glasgow was taking the first team center reps today. Do you believe that that's something that we need to be worried about? Do you think that Graham could potentially be the center, and they didn't like what they saw out of Tate, so Tate got bumped to right guard?
I'm not worried. No, I just kind of want to get my eyes on that myself in a game. I'm not worried. If Graham's the center, Graham's the center. If Tate's the center, I mean, that's a big ask of a rookie to come in and replace an all-pro center. So, I mean, I kind of look at it that way too. Maybe he's got a learning curve. Maybe he has to play a year at guard, and I think that's perfectly fine too. So I just need to see how he plays both positions. I think we'll get a peek at that at some point during some preseason games.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I will say in my boat, I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all. As far as, number one, Tate was out there with the first team. So it's pretty much he's going to be out there with that first team O-line one way or another, whether it's at center or whether it's at guard. I truly believe, until I see otherwise, that we were just getting Tate some cross-training reps at guard. You know, let's see where he looks better. Hank is trying to mix and match and see what the best 5-player rotation is. Is it best with him being at center and going through that learning curve? Is it best with him being at guard and going through that learning curve? Do we got to entertain getting some of these other guys in there? That's all it is. So I've seen a couple people tweeting about, oh, Tate already lost the center gig, and a couple people mentioned it at work. Like, yeah, why would they they came and be like, why would they be repping him at guard? It's only to go on to show that he's probably struggling at center. I don't believe that. I think you just cross train him. And so, guys, put it in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling. You think they're just cross training them? You think they're just getting a look at both guys in different positions, or do you think that it's not a big deal?
I think it's just day 4 camp. Let's see some combinations and see what is the strongest. What's the strongest unit? Is it Graham at center or is it Tate? Like, we have plenty of time. I'm not giving jobs away on day 4. So, well, something else interested me today, and you kind of hinted at it at the beginning of the show, with this being Dan Campbell's 5th season and it being the most intense. This is day 2 in a row, I believe, where we've had to hit the pause button on practice because things are getting physical. All right. As much as I love that, I know pads aren't on. I think it's just competition. It's 139,000 degrees outside. Everyone's hot. Everyone's out there competing. Does it concern you at all that we're having to pause practices for getting a little too chippy out there?
Not at all, Steve. Not at all. I played small college football. Wasn't even a big college guy, but I will say it adopted me into something that I did not know was a thing. You're in high school, you play every position, your offense, your defense, everybody's cool, everybody's kumbaya, everybody's hanging out afterwards. When I got to college, the offense and defense hated each other, especially at practice. And then when you went to lunch or you went to class or you were navigating around, for the most part, you were with your side of the football or your position group, most likely. In the NFL, from what I've seen, you guys know I got a first cousin I played in the NFL that I grew up with and I played high school ball with. It's the exact same. These guys hate each other. They're fighting each other all the time. DBs are fighting receivers and safeties. Linebackers are fighting running backs and linemen. It is intense. Number one, we're fighting for money. We're fighting for jobs. We're fighting to feed our families. It is a crazy intense intensity level in there, man. So, and then you got the veteran players who know that they're on the team already. That's got this scout team guy that's fighting for a job going a little bit too hard, for some people. They might be fighting about that. It's just, it doesn't surprise me at all, especially with the type of guys that Brad Holmes and Coach Campbell have brought into Detroit. Tough, gritty, men's men, getting after it. Steve, I think we're going to see more of it. I can't wait until we get some enemies in the building when we had these joint practices, and it could get tapered back a little bit with Lion the Lion, and we can focus it on somebody else. But until then, I think it's only going to get more intense, especially because of what's coming tomorrow.
Pads going tomorrow. But yeah, I saw some stuff that Branch and St. Brown were going after it, and I'm looking at these like, these aren't no-name guys. That's a Pro Bowler on defense and a Pro Bowler on offense, and they're getting after each other. I love it. I think it's just going to benefit us in the long run of the season. Like, they're getting feisty. They're saying, you're not getting a rep on me. You're not happening. I'd love to hear some of those locker room conversations about, hey, man, I torched your ass today. All right, motherfucker. Yeah, wait till tomorrow. We'll see. Like, I just wish I could be a part of it. But I love hearing the competition. No harm, no foul. Don't throw no punches. Don't break no bones. Shove, push, jaw jack, do whatever you got to do. But tomorrow, pads go on. I'm sure we're going to see some more physicality. I know we had a guy, Norris was kicked out of practice by Dan Campbell the other day for getting too physical. Listen, I think this Detroit Lions team is just the offseason has just been bad taste. All right, bad taste in my mouth from last year. I'm ready to get out there and get back after it, get back to the top of the food chain, get back to the number 1 seed. I want to redo on how last year ended. I think that's how they feel. That's for sure how I feel. So, Will, I'm ready. Tomorrow's pads. We got a football game a week from today. Will, we got an NFL Detroit Lions football game.
Steve.
William.
Speaking of Brian Branch and Monroe St. Brown going at it, I got to know. Brian Branch.
Don't make me answer this.
St. Brown.
Don't make me answer this. I'm not answering this.
Walk into a dark alley. Who's walking out of there?
I can't pick a side. I can't do it, Will. I just can't.
Listen, Detroit did 3-1-3. If he ever comes at me for politicians' answer ever again, I need an answer. There's no wrong answer.
You're picking one of the most valuable defensive players on our team and one of the most valuable offensive players on the team and tell me to pick one. I can't do it,
Tough
Will. I
dudes
can't do it.
going
I
into a
can't do it
dark
because
alley.
here's what's going to happen. All right, let me just set the table for Will's trick question here. No matter who I answer, he's going to hit me with an "Are you nuts?" and he's going to pick the other guy. I already
No, I'm not.
know that that's the
Not.
answer. So I'll give you an answer, Will, but I already know what's coming. Ahmad St. Brown. I just look at the genealogy. His dad was a pro bodybuilder. Like those genes are factored in. So I might take. Are we talking boxing rules or like a just straight up street fight? Because
just dogs, just two
I
wild dogs.
might have to take St. Brown. I might have to take St. Brown in that fight. But I think it's a split decision.
I dig that, man.
It's
I
not
can't believe
unanimous.
this. Yeah, I can't believe that you thought that there wasn't a right answer to that, Steve. So
Yeah,
I
because
will
it's
let you
clearly
know.
Brian Branch, right?
No, I was gonna say I'll let you know that I stand with you, man. I stand with you in supporting the Detroit Lions, man. But are you absolutely out of your mind? Brian Branch, he went in there with Brian Branch. Brian Branch is a killer. He's a killer. He's an assassin. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Are you out of your mind? If St. Brown was that tough, he'd be on the defense. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. He's a tough dude. He's playing with these abdominal tears and all this stuff. Like I love it. It's awesome. It's all this stuff. But we're talking about the dudes that's flipping the whole Green Bay crowd to birds. This dude's going into a dark alley in Green Bay by himself with the whole Green Bay crowd, and he's walking out. This dude is an animal. It's Brian Branch 10 times out of 10. Are you absolutely out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
Didn't St. Brown
Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments, guys.
didn't St. Brown wear a hoodie that said "fuck Green Bay"? Didn't he blow
Green Bay
kisses to the
sucks.
Green Bay fans a couple years ago? Like he's done some stuff to Green Bay too.
Yeah, but if you look at that picture, you see Brian Branch standing behind him like this. Y'all better not do that.
It's not an easy pick. It's not an easy pick, but I knew what you were going to do. Like, I've been playing these games with you trust me, far too long. Far too long. I've been playing this game with you. Decades.
St. Brown, I stand with you. You're a tough gentleman. I'm so thankful that you're a Detroit Lion. Brian Branch 10 times out of 10, though.
10 times out of 10.
Brian Branch. If I'm going into
boxing match, it's unanimous.
Like,
a unanimous decision.
Listen, if they did a celebrity boxing match, I think Brian Branch stops St. Brown in probably, I'm gonna say, second round, early in the second.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't even know what to think. I don't the disrespect here by St. Brown. I don't know. Send me an autograph, football St. Brown, for sticking up for you. Something. I don't know. Come on,
can I set the table? Can I set the table and be truthful?
I don't know what's true anymore. This is a distorted reality I live in with you sometimes.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is a real, and I know people are probably already getting at me. I'm never picking an offensive player ever. If we're talking about toughness, I'm not picking a receiver. And I know we got one of the toughest receivers in the leagues. He gives me like Hines Ward vibes. He's tough. He's a tough SOB. But I don't care. Defense always. We're way tougher. Way tougher on the defense, man.
All right, we're just about done here. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.
If there is another show. I don't know. This might be it.